It's that time again. Time for some real talk about real issues to enhance your real life. Whatever you think, whatever you know, whatever you feel, Tanya doesn't mind talking about it. Get ready for some real talk that is always rated R, because Talk with Tanya has got to be relevant. Talk with Tanya has got to be refreshing. But most importantly, Talk with Tanya has got to be real. Tune in right now for Real Talk with Tanya White.
Happy Women's Month. It is March, you guys, and you know it's my favorite time of year. Women's Month. We are celebrating women, and today our show, I have to kick off the first show in March with my sorors. It is entitled Deltas Who Are Doing Dynamic Things in Their Industry, and I have one of my sorors who is the first mayor of Evansville, but as my LAC Soror says, she is KSU bred. So welcome to the Real Talk with Tanya White show, Mayor Stephanie Terry, the mayor of Evansville, Indiana. Welcome to South Soror.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Soror, for having me on the show.
Listen, I got to have you on the show. We got to dig deep, and I don't want to take much of your time, but you got to tell us, why did you become a Delta and pledge at KSU?
Well, yeah, I pledged at KSU through Alpha Pi chapter in 1996. I'll tell you, my Delta journey really started long before then. As a teenager, I was introduced to Delta here at home through the local alumni chapter, and I participated in some of their youth programs. And I'll tell you, there are two standout women, sorors that have gone on to heaven, Miss Bernice and Miss Claire. They made a lasting impression on me, and I tell you, I wanted to be just like them. And so when I went off to college, it only made sense for me to seek out Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, and it truly it connects to my heart in terms of what it represents and the principles and the work that we do. I wouldn't have even I never looked at anything else.
Listen.
Delta was the only way, and so I'm just blessed to be a part of such a great organization.
It only makes sense. I love it. That's the language that Deltas use. It only makes sense when you find where your connection is. Go on and give the call, Soror. Go on and give your call. Ooh. Listen, okay, all my audience knows. They know I'm a Delta, and they know I love my Delta Soros. But listen, they know that. Mayor Stephanie Terry, first of all, congratulations on becoming mayor. But before you became mayor, you was very active in doing what you're doing now before you got the position. Tell us a little brief of your background, your professional background that led you to this point today.
Well, I've always had a heart for service and a passion for people and a deep love for really my hometown. And that's really why I came back immediately after college. And I think my journey really was shaped by experiences in public service through the sorority and nonprofit leadership that really kind of guided me for a very long time. I have a degree in biology and health service administration. So, initially I thought I was going into the public health sector, but found my love and calling in the nonprofit community work. And so I served as the deputy director for Carver Community Organization, which is an intergenerational serving organization where I saw firsthand really the impact of investing in people. That passion kind of led me then to be the executive director of the Children's Museum of Evansville, where I led that organization for 13 years, creating a space where children can learn and have fun. And I'll tell you, public service has always been a part of my heart. I mean, growing up in the church, watching my parents, I'm a PK. And so I saw my parents serving others. And so that's just deeply rooted in who I am. And so I ran for public office twice. I ran for school board and city county. I was unsuccessful, shortly after I came out of college. But in 2012, I was appointed to the Vanderbilt County Council, where I turned that into, making history there as the first African-American woman serving in that role. And that appointment, after that, I ran 4 successful elections after that, and over a decade of experience in local government through that process. And then I made the bold decision to run for mayor.
The bold decision.
The bold decisions. I tell you, after the previous mayor, he had been in this seat, in this office for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wasn't going to do another term, and it was the right time. And it took a lot of thought and prayer. I tell you, it took me about 6 months to say, "Oh, okay, Stephanie, this is the time for you to move," because people are counting on you. You're capable of doing this, and so I've been trusting God every since. And here I am as the first woman, the first African American in our 200 plus year history city running as the chief executive officer.
And most importantly, that's what a Delta accomplishes. The
Yes,
first doing of anything. So congratulations on that. Well, it explains a lot. You said you're a PK, you grew up in the church, and we know whatever our parents were over, we were in, and we
that is
taught
right.
us. Listen, they taught us how to do and serve with excellence, because
They did.
I know I came from a generation. Oh, you ain't gonna mess up my name. You're gonna do everything I tell you to do, and you're gonna do it with excellence.
From Sunday to Sunday. So
This generation don't know about Sunday morning service, Sunday afternoon service, BTU, younger. They don't know nothing about that man Soror.
they don't. And Bible camp during the summer.
Listen, Bible camp for the summer. You going to youth conference in another city, and you better not act like you better act like you got some sense, and you better come back and tell us what you learned. Mayor Soror, is that not what prepared you?
That is what prepared me. Oh my goodness.
For public service and the no's and the pushback. So let us tell it must be a very big dream come true for you not only to be the first woman, but the first African American and in your hometown.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, we know it takes courage to run. It takes perseverance to, get out there, campaign and shake hands and tell your platform. But when you hear your name as the mayor-elect, come on, Mayor Soror, tell us, take us back.
It feels good every time I hear it. I actually get offended when my first name is called, when they call me Stephanie, but it is an extreme honor to serve as mayor of this city. And, because I was born and raised here. This is my home. And every day I wake up knowing I have the privilege of making a difference in the place that shaped and molded me. And whether that's through neighborhood revitalization projects or fostering some of our economic growth opportunities and, making sure that people are heard. And that I think I'm living out my purpose. And I know with all of my heart, this is the work I'm supposed to be doing right now for such a time as this. And I think even with its historic nature and significance, this journey is more than just me holding the title. It's about creating a legacy of progress and opportunity for generations to come. So even with chaos all around us, the national level or state level, I keep showing up and, making sure that people know that I'm there for them and I'm truly committed to making a difference.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You said it's more than a title. Mayor Soror, that is so true. It's about influence, and you said leaving a legacy. Now, some person out there, especially a young woman who's aspiring to be a Delta or is already a Delta, and they are inspired by what we do on our social action and all the other programmatic thrusts, and they may have a dream of aspiring to run and campaign for public service, but they're scared. Okay, you said it, all the chaos that's going on and things that are going on right now. Give 2 nuggets of wisdom to somebody who's debating, because sometimes the time is now. I love what you said. Yeah. You knew it's your time is now. Somebody who needs that push.
It is. I mean, you got to follow your heart and your gut. And I think that's what, kind of really helped me to get over the hump. I mean, I had a whole lot of conversations before I decided to run for mayor. But it wasn't until my heart and my mind aligned with one another that this was the time. And so I think it's just going forward. Make sure that as long as you're doing it for the right purpose and walking your passion, I think God will do the rest. And I just believe that. And, make sure you assemble a strong, solid support system around you, because I don't think I would be able to do many of the things that I've done without, a solid support system around me and my family and other, friends and sorors that are accountability partners and encouragers, because that's going to allow us, again, to be at our best is when you've got that in place and do your homework. I think once you do that, you can accomplish anything. We are seeing, women all over this country rise up, especially Black women. And I'm in awe, but I'm also so proud of the women leaders that I'm seeing all over this country, making their voices heard. And so I'm just saying, go for it. Just do it.
Go for it. Just do it. Listen, we know you're on a tight schedule. Before we leave, I want to thank our sponsor, but I want you to be thinking about what is in store. And we want you to specifically talk to your city of Evansville, from Mayor Stephanie Terry. Before we leave this, we are honored to have Mayor Soror. That's why I call Mayor Soror Stephanie Terry. I hope to meet you in person at the National Convention in DC, hopefully. But thank you for being on. Thank you to our sponsors, Derby City Medical Partners and LaTanya Renee Banks. Share this with many people who need to be inspired, especially if they're the first in the industry and they need the courage. Mayor Soror, what is in store under your leadership for the city of Evansville? Now, I also work with the Goodwill Excel Center. I know that the Excel Center has launched the national brand, and y'all doing big things at Goodwill Excel Center because I follow them on Facebook. So I know great things are in Evansville. But what is in store?
We are. I'm actually looking forward to the first graduation of the class of students. I have actually a family friend that will be one of the graduates, so it's going to really feel good to be a part of that celebration. But I think, this year and beyond, I think my focus really remains on advancing my administration's vision of Forward Together. And we're going to keep pushing important initiatives in the areas of economic development. We've got a river vision plan and revitalization of our downtown, looking at a significant completion of I-69 bridge highway that will help connect us to the north and the south, and again creating these economic corridors in our city at various parts, lifting up all the neighborhoods that have been left behind in many regards. We're going to continue to invest in public safety and continue to support our youth. I have a mayor's education roundtable. Our community is having our first youth success symposium next month here. And I'm really excited about the opportunity and the support that we're going to create a youth master plan for our city and say, this is our commitment to you to ensure, again, that every child has opportunity and can excel in however way that's best for them. And so I'm really excited about that work. But more than that, I'm also passionate about creating pathways for diverse leadership in both government and civic spaces. Under my administration already, the representation we have hired in terms of department heads and then coalitions that we have built, we've been really intentional about making sure that it represents the community in which we live. But I think beyond that, but the mayor's office, I'm embracing a new chapter in life as a proud empty nester. And
empty nester.
Yeah, there's been an adjustment. It's a bit quiet in the house, but it also means more time for me to reflect and to grow and really enjoy simpler things, traveling. My husband makes sure that I'm trying to spend more time getting away and taking a minute because I've not done a good job of that. I have a huge responsibility. And so my team and my family are being really thoughtful about how do we make sure that she gets that self-care that she needs so that I can be my best for the city of Evansville. And I think beyond that, I'm going to continue to champion change, not just through policy, but being a mentor and advocating for things that are right and being sure that I'm a voice for the people of Evansville. My journey is far from over, and I'm excited again about what the future holds for the city of Evansville and for our region, both as mayor and for me as personally growing and experiencing life as we move forward. So I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and serve as the 35th mayor and all that it comes with in terms of his historic nature. And I hope that I will serve and represent this community well for years to come.
Oh. Well, first of all, because you're a Delta, you're going to do that dynamically. Come on now. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your husband to remind you and your team you need the self-care. Big things. I'm following you. You like, how did you find me? I find Deltas, okay? I find us who are doing dynamic things, and that is what you're doing. Thank you. But before we go, you got to do the call in the Delta stand. Come on, Soror. Listen, y'all know to share this with all the Deltas. Thank you again, Mayor Stephanie Terry. Until next time, you guys, remember to love your life, live your life, and laugh through your life. Until next time, I love